Hey there, owls. I hope you're enjoying boot camp so far. Today we're going to talk about creating invitations. Now I know there are some in the back office that the nest provides us, but sometimes you want to do something a little special. Maybe it's for a holiday, maybe it's a specific theme. So we're going to go and learn how to do that now. Here we are back again in Word today. So what we're going to do is pull together an invitation that you can create within this area. Now, what I have to print out on are some cards that I had purchased from Vistaprint, and on one side of them, they have a picture of a locket, and it was a picture from the back office at one point, the high resolution pictures that they used to have. So I had a bunch of them printed up. So I have a card stock to work with. The problem is my card is not the size of an 8.5 by 11. So what I'm going to need to do is go up into page layout, click on size, and I'm going to select more paper sizes because I need to make a custom size. I'm going to scroll down and where it says paper size to custom size. And my particular document or my card is 7.25 by 4.5 inches. The only other thing I need to do is check on my margins here. They're all set at 1 inch. I need them a little bit smaller. So you can either click on the little arrow button down here till it says 1/2 inch, or you can just copy this and paste 1/2 inch all the way through. It's going to be landscape, and then I can click OK. So there's my document that I'm going to have to work with. Now, what I'm going to create is something that I had a couple of days ago just so you can see how to do one. So anything you do can reflect your particular party that you're going to have. This particular one was Jennifer's Halloween party. And just for the sake of time, I've already copied what the content was, and there's the information I had. We're going to hit return. The other information that we needed to put in here was that it was Thursday, October 3rd. Whoops. And the time was going to be 7 o'clock. I never put an ending time because you just never know what's going to happen. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they go really, really long. And then I'm going to just put a fake email address in here. Or not email, but an address. If I can learn how to spell. And then a phone number. Okay, oh, we need to put a dash there. Okay, now, for whatever reason, my particular word has a problem adding certain spacing. But if you have that problem, if you highlight it, right mouse click and choose paragraph, see here where it says spacing after, it's giving 10 points and line spacing is multiple. I know there's a way to fix it. I don't have time to figure it out, so I know how to at least correct it. I highlight the after, put it in 0, multiple at single, and click OK. Now everything's condensed and I can give it the room that I want it to have. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight Jennifer's Halloween party, and we're going to choose one of the fonts that Origami Owl uses, and it's League Gothic. Tends to be one of the fonts that they use for impact, and obviously the title of the party is going to be an impact statement. I'm going to make that probably as big as I can get. 48 is probably about where we are, and I'm going to center it. Now, because it's Halloween, I'm going to do a couple different things. Number one, since I want to identify this as being Jennifer's, I'm going to change that to Pacifico. And you see what happened is it's making my words wrap. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. There we go. That's perfect. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose purple because that's just a fun Halloween color. And we're going to make this orange. Now, I realize that these are not Origami Owl colors, but because of it's a party theme, I think it'll be okay in this situation. So then we're going to go down to, let's put an apostrophe there. We're going to go down to the content. And what I'm going to do is highlight the content, and I'm going to make it smaller. Let's say about 10 points or 10 font size. And then I'm going to take this area here so I can move over the text a little bit to make kind of offset it some. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to make some impact statements in here. So I'm going to highlight her name, I'm going to bold it, and I'm going to make it purple. And let's see, I'm going to highlight this, do the same thing. And I see some things that are happening, and I'll fix those in a second. And do one more here. All right, so now you see how this wrapped a little bit, but how we can fix this is, oops, we're going to highlight that area again, and we're just going to take the margin area here and pull it back just a little bit so it's all fitting back how I wanted it to. Now, I'm going to just hit return. Okay, so now I want to take this information here and place it in the center area right underneath my text. So in order to do that, I'm going to highlight all of that text because that's what I want to move. We're going to go up here into the ruler section, and about where I think is midway in between the text, I'm going to double click in the ruler area, and that'll bring up my tabs pop up. I want to have a center alignment, and so now I'm going to set that and click OK. Now, when I click in front of each line of these information and hit tab, it's going to go into the area I want it to. And so now all of that's there. I also want to bold this just for effect. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bold this as well, because that's kind of important. So I've got a couple more things I want to do just to kind of finish this off. I've already created an image. Now, you can use any image that you want. You could use clip art, stock, or whatever. I just happen to have been able to create an image. So I'm going to click on Insert Picture, and I'm going to go and select my invite picture. Now, if you'll notice, it kind of jumped around and pushed everything down. So we're going to do text wrapping, and we're going to click through so at least I can manipulate it and move it just a little bit. Now, once I get it to where I want, notice that it's wrapping around, and we're going to fix that here in a second. But I want to put it right about maybe there, and we're going to go back to text wrapping, and this time we're going to say behind text. Now, the reason I haven't done this prior to now is it's a little harder to manipulate and move once you get it there. You'll have to make sure you get on the lines to be able to pull it up or down just a little bit. I'm going to pull it up just a little bit because what I want to do is take this RSVP, hit return a couple times, and move it down to where I can see it. Now, we're almost done. The only other thing I want to do is I want to put on our Origami Owl logo that we're allowed to use and my information. So again, I'm going to click over in this area this time because I want my image to be here. I'm going to insert, click on picture. Here's my logo. It's the correct logo for Origami Owl that we are allowed to use. Again, it's big and it moves around. So in order to squeeze this down a little bit, I'm going to click on this node here, and I'm going to click and hold, click on my shift button, and drag it in a little bit to make it smaller. And see, it kind of jumps up for me. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and if I do my text wrapping of through, I can now kind of manipulate it and move it where I want it to go. Now, there. I kind of like that, but what I still need to add is I need to add my information. Now, because we have all this text kind of going haywire in a lot of different places and everything's looking the way I want it to, this time I'm going to insert a text box, and it's going to be a simple text box. It's going to show me a bunch of gobbledygook, but really all I want to put in here is my information, so my name, and I always put my ID number, hit return, and my replicated website. Now, Word has the propensity to always take the first letter and assume that it needs to be capitalized in a word at the beginning of a sentence. So I'm just going to make that change for them. The other thing I need to do, again, it's giving me that weird spatial issues that I have going on. So I'm going to fix that. And I don't like this box that's happening, but if I come up here to shape outline and click on there, I can choose no outline. At the same time, I can also choose no fill for the background. And I'm allowed to move this around since it's in a box, so I can manipulate the placement of it. You could do that for this area as well, but I wanted to show you the different things that you could do with Word. Now, this is a little too big for my taste, So we're going to highlight it, go to home, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. Let's see, whoops. I like that size, and I want to center it. And then I'm going to move it around, and you can also use your arrow keys just to tighten it up a little bit. And there, I like that a whole lot. So there's an invite that I can print out, and of course, because it has the Origami Owl logo on it and everything, you do want to send it into marketing for approval. But if you do it well in advance, you have no problem. But I like how it turned out, and hopefully you can have the same luck. See, not too bad, really pretty simple. Some of you may have also noticed that I have a cat in a box. Whoops, there she is, over there, in an Origami Owl box. Her name is Nestle, and I'm surprised none of them have made an appearance so far. But there's the first one. So, see you tomorrow at boot camp. Bye-bye.